The Chicago Code is an American crime drama television series created by Sean Ryan that aired on Fox in the United States. The series was filmed in Chicago, Illinois, originally airing from February 7 to May 23, 2011, with Fox announcing cancellation on May 10, 2011. Plot: the series follows officers of the Chicago Police Department as they fight crime on the streets and try to expose political corruption within the city. Veteran Chicago Police Detective Harek Wysocki leads the special unit fighting against the corruption. Wysocki was assigned to head the special unit by his boss, the newly appointed first female Chicago police superintendent, and his one-time partner, Teresa Colvin. Also on the unit is Caleb Evers, a young detective and Wysocki's latest partner. During their investigations, the detectives often encounter police officers Vonda Wysocki and Vonda's partner Isaac Joyner. Undercover officer Chris Collier, who goes by the name Liam Hennessy while undercover, works the streets as he gets information on Hugh Killian and the Irish mob and the connection to the corruption. Believed to be source of the corruption is Alderman Ronan Gibbons, a powerful and influential politician in Chicago. Cast: starring Jason Clarke as Harek Wysocki, a tough Chicago Polish-American homicide detective seen as a legendary figure in the department, who hates profanity, loves the White Sox, and has a hard time finding a partner who can keep up with him on the streets of the city, so he has detectives who can't make the cut reassigned. At each other's mutual request, he and Colvin were partnered when starting out as officers, and they share a close friendship, leading her to give him the authority to take over investigations of other officers' cases. Wysocki continues to look for the killers of his late brother, who was also a Chicago police officer. Wysocki is divorced, and engaged to a 27-year-old woman, but still intimate with his ex-wife, Jennifer Beals, as Teresa Colvin, Chicago's first female police superintendent. She is a very tough and ambitious officer, unafraid to challenge government officials or demote officers she sees as incompetent, even at the risk of making enemies in the department. In the pilot, she reveals that her parents' business and marriage were destroyed by the corruption in the city, and she has made cleaning it up a personal task. Matt Laurier as Caleb Evers, a young homicide detective who is Wysocki's latest partner, and impresses both Wysocki and Colvin with his observational skills. He is a graduate of Northwestern University and has a pending application to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Devon Kelly as Vonda Wysocki, Harek's niece and a rookie police officer. Her father was killed in the line of duty when she was a young child, and her uncle helped raise her and supported her through the police academy. Todd Williams as Isaac Joyner, Vonda's partner, a young and ambitious officer whose hotshot ways lead Wysocki to worry for his niece. It is later revealed that he is Vonda's boyfriend. Billy Lush as Liam Hennessy, introduced as a low-level thug, later revealed as a police officer named Chris Collier working undercover in the Irish mob. Delroy Lindo as Alderman Ronan Gibbons, a Chicago alderman with more than 20 years in office, widely seen as the most influential figure in the city's political machine. Colvin identifies him as the main target in her anti-corruption crusade. Recurring Adam Arkin as FBI Division Chief Cooler, Stephen Culp as Dennis Mahoney, the mayor's chief of staff, Madison Dirks as Mikey, a man who works for Killian, Colby French as Roger Kelly, Colvin's chief of staff is appointed by Gibbons, John Hurd as Mayor McGinnis, the mayor of Chicago, Brad William Henker as Ernie Moose Mooskian, part of the CPD's criminal task force, Warren Cole as Ray Bidwell, Colvin's driver and security detail, Patrick Goff as Walgani, a man who works for Killian. Camille Guati as Elena, her ex-fiancé, who breaks up with him after he tells her he is still in love with Dina. Shannon Lucio as Elizabeth Killian, Hugh Killian's daughter. Cynthia McWilliams as Lily Beecham, Gibbons' secretary and lover. Amy Price Francis as Dina Wysocki, her ex-wife, with whom he carries on an affair while engaged to Elena. Patrick Street Esprit as Hugh Killian, an Irish mob boss. Philip Edward Van Leer as Ellis Hicks, Gibbons' right-hand man. Production. Originally titled Ride Along, Fox greenlit the pilot in January 2010. The series was created by Sean Ryan, who grew up in Rockford, Illinois. Regarding the setting of Chicago, Ryan said, "It's a city I'm very familiar with, and one I haven't seen photographed much, at least on TV, and that Chicago is the center of the universe." When describing the show, he stated, "There will be a few twists that make it different from other cop shows on the air and will make it Fox-like, when under its original title and concept." Ryan described the show as a police show in Chicago that kind of made the viewer feel as if they were in the police car with the cops, as the concept grew. The series was retitled to the Chicago Code, saying, "It became much more than I originally intended. It became a show that I realized I wanted to be about a lot more than just police officers. So police officers are who we use to look at the city and look at the intersection of politics and its citizenry." Fox announced the cancellation of the series on May 10, 2011. The final episode of the series aired May 23, 2011. Episodes. Reception. The pilot received favorable reviews, scoring 75 out of 100 based on 25 professional reviews on Metacritic. James Queally of the Star-Ledger said that Ryan's well-crafted characters are what truly carry the pilot, in what equates to an effective, but not groundbreaking, origin story. Noel Murray of the AV Club gave the pilot a B+, saying, "The show, as a whole, makes great use of Chicago as a character, which in itself gives it a look and feel unlike other urban TV cop thrillers." IGN gave the pilot an 8.5 out of 10, noting that Chicago Code comes off as a tale, almost as a city legend in the making, with Scorsese-equa voiceovers in place, letting you know that this story, in a sense, has already happened. David Bianculla of NPR wrote that it borrows a little from The Wire, HBO's landmark series about entrenched, corrupted city institutions, and a little from EZ Streets, the vintage Paul Haggis cop series that gave equal weight to its good guys and its bad guys. But those are great places to start. Brian Ford Sullivan of The Futon Critic named the pilot episode the 13th best episode of 2011, naming it his favorite pilot of the year, and calling it everything a television series should be. A toy box of well-rounded characters put in a distinct landscape with stories and attitudes that can be anything from funny to terrifying to heartbreaking, never knowing which is coming next. International broadcasts. The series aired on Global in Canada concurrently with the American broadcast. It began airing in the United Kingdom and Ireland on Sky One on May 12, 2011.